Has this ever happened to you? A man looks at you not with desire, but with a kind of silent confusion? As if he's seeing something he cannot name, something ancient, something that both calls him and terrifies him. That, Osho would say, is the fragrance of a woman who has stopped needing to be understood. She has become a mystery not because she hides herself, but because she has dissolved the performance that most call femininity. What remains is presence, unguarded, raw, magnetic. The kind of presence that doesn't speak to a man's logic but to his dreams. Such a woman is not born from validation, she is born from surrender. She has faced her loneliness and discovered that it doesn't kill her. She has walked through rejection and learned that love cannot be begged from the blind. She has burned in the fires of self-doubt until she found the quiet core that no man can touch. When she looks at the world, she no longer asks, "Who will choose me?" She asks, "Who dares to meet me where I truly am?" Men dream of her not because she gives them attention, but because she mirrors something they lost, their own soul. In Jungian language, she awakens the anima, the feminine within the masculine psyche. Every man carries her image unconsciously, the nurturer, the seductress, the mother, the muse, the divine unknown. But when he meets a real woman who embodies that essence without effort, his mind begins to blur. He wants to own her, define her, protect her, but he cannot. Because she is not his mirror, she is his test. She doesn't need to prove softness, her softness is power. She doesn't need to perform mystery, her silence is the mystery. When she speaks, her words carry the weight of someone who doesn't need to convince. When she laughs, it's not to be liked, but because something in her overflows. Her presence disturbs those who crave control, yet it heals those who are ready to feel. Most women, Osho would say, are exhausted because they have been taught to seduce instead of to exist. They wear beauty like armor, fearing that the truth underneath might be too much, or not enough. But a woman who reclaims her mystery realizes that the most seductive thing she can ever offer is her peace. Not the peace that comes from avoidance, but the peace that is born after chaos. It's the peace of someone who no longer fights to be chosen. When a man encounters that peace, something ancient awakens. He begins to remember what he's been chasing through success, conquest, or control, the quiet acceptance of simply being. But because his ego fears what it cannot possess, he dreams of her instead of facing her. She becomes an idea in his mind, an unreachable symbol of what he secretly wishes he could become, whole. This is why her power is not in her beauty but in her stillness. Not in her availability but in her boundaries. Not in the way she makes men feel wanted but in the way she makes them feel seen. Because she sees without demanding. She understands without rescuing. She loves without clinging. To a man who has never known such freedom, she becomes both heaven and hell. Heaven because she touches his soul. Hell because she exposes his fears. You see, mystery is not the art of concealment, it is the art of depth. It is when a woman becomes so aligned with her essence that no surface can define her. Her eyes say more than her words ever could. Her silence, more provocative than any confession. The more she knows herself, the less she explains. And in that space of unspoken truth, men begin to project their fantasies, their wounds, their desires. They fall not for her, but for their reflection within her. A wise woman does not resist this projection. She observes it the way Osho described the watcher, detached, compassionate, amused. She knows that every man who dreams of her is really dreaming of the lost feminine inside himself. And she knows that she cannot heal that wound for him. She can only embody the reminder that healing is possible. So she walks through life like a flame, not chasing moths, not apologizing for her light. Some will be drawn to her warmth, others will burn in her fire. But she does not dim herself to be safe. She understands that love without danger is not love, it's comfort. And comfort she has outgrown. Her mystery then is not something learned, it's something remembered. It's the echo of every lifetime where she was told to be quiet, smaller, more manageable. And now she remembers, she was never meant to be managed. She was meant to awaken. When you stop performing and start existing, the world begins to rearrange around your energy. Men no longer see you as an option, they feel you as a question. A question they can't answer, a silence they can't escape. And in that silence they begin to dream. Men dream of her not because she is perfect, but because she is real in a world that worships illusion. Her authenticity unsettles the artificial. She does not play the game of pretending to be easy to understand or easy to love. Her emotions flow like rivers, sometimes calm, sometimes wild, but always honest. And when a man touches that honesty, it reminds him of the parts of himself he buried beneath pride, ambition, and fear. She becomes his mirror, not of the man he is, but of the man he could be if he dared to feel. In Osho's teachings, the feminine is not something to be decoded, but to be experienced. He said that a woman in her truth is like the moon. She has phases, mysteries, and moods. But only the wise man learns to watch her light without trying to possess it. The fool, frightened by her depth, tries to define her, to make her predictable, to turn her into a reflection of his own order. Yet the more he tries to understand her, the less he can sleep, because she becomes the embodiment of everything he has denied: intuition, vulnerability, surrender. Her mystery is not darkness, it's depth. A depth that cannot be conquered, only entered. But to enter it, a man must lose his armor. He must face his own chaos without running. That is why she is not every man's dream. She is the dream of the few who are awake enough to sense her reality. The rest, they only desire the surface of her, the image, the fantasy. They want her presence to soothe their emptiness, not to awaken it. Yet she cannot play that role. Her energy refuses to become anesthesia. She walks with quiet dignity, not because she is cold, but because she is selective. Her silence is not indifference, it is discernment. She knows that not every man deserves the language of her soul. She speaks only when there is listening, gives only when there is reverence. And when she withdraws, it is not rejection, it is protection. Osho often said that love should be like the open sky, infinite yet unattached. She lives this truth, allowing those who cannot match her frequency to drift away, not with bitterness but with grace. When she loves without bargaining. Her love is not a trade, it's an offering. It does not come from scarcity but from abundance. She has learned that giving herself completely does not mean losing herself. She no longer confuses attachment with connection. The moment she senses control disguised as affection, she withdraws. Not to punish, but to preserve her essence. For she has learned that a man's respect is not earned by sacrifice, but by self-honor. And so, men remember her long after she's gone. They replay her laughter in their minds not because it was sweet, but because it was free. They recall the way she looked at them, not to measure their worth, but to see if they could meet her eyes without fear. She doesn't linger in their thoughts because of her body, but because of her absence. Her detachment is her spell. When she leaves, the silence she leaves behind speaks louder than her words ever did. You see, mystery is not an act. It is the natural aura of a woman who no longer performs for attention. It is the byproduct of emotional sovereignty. She can be soft without breaking, sensual without offering, kind without surrendering her power. She does not need to chase affection because her presence itself is nourishment. And when you stop needing from others what you have cultivated within, you become magnetic, effortlessly, dangerously magnetic. A mysterious woman understands polarity. She doesn't compete with the masculine, she complements it. Her strength does not come from dominance, but from depth. She does not need to match a man's intensity, she absorbs it, transforms it, reflects it back as calmness. The Stoics would call it ataraxia, the unshakable tranquility of the soul. Men crave this tranquility but rarely find it in themselves. When they sense it in her, they are captivated, because she represents what their restless spirit longs for: stillness. Yet that stillness is not empty. It hums with life. It contains laughter, chaos, tenderness, and rage, all balanced within her like elements in harmony. Jung would say she has integrated her shadow. She does not hide her darkness, she owns it. She knows that her rage is sacred, her sadness fertile, her desire divine. Because she no longer fears her emotions, they no longer control her. She feels without drowning, loves without losing herself, and walks away without guilt. To the unawakened man, she is an enigma. To the awakened one, she is a mirror of his own evolution. He does not wish to own her. He wishes to rise beside her. And that is where true attraction is born, not from fantasy but from resonance. There is a moment, subtle but unmistakable, when a man realizes that he cannot win her. That no strategy, no charm, no seduction can contain her essence. It's the moment his ego begins to crumble because for the first time, he encounters a woman who doesn't orbit around his validation. Her gaze doesn't seek approval. Her silence doesn't beg for attention. And her love, that vast, ungovernable love, does not promise permanence. It promises truth. This truth unsettles him. It strips him of illusion. For so long he has believed that to be desired is to be powerful. But in her presence, he understands that power means nothing to a woman who already belongs to herself. Osho said, "A woman becomes divine when she stops imitating man." And she has stopped. She no longer lives to be chosen, she chooses. She no longer bends to fit into a man's world, she builds her own. In doing so, she awakens something ancient within him, a hunger not for conquest but for connection. She is not against the masculine. She honors it. But she no longer sacrifices her light to keep it comfortable. Instead, she invites it to rise. And here is where the true alchemy begins. When a man meets a woman who has faced her shadows, he can no longer remain asleep. Her authenticity forces him to confront his own. She becomes a mirror reflecting both his beauty and his cowardice. And though part of him wants to run, another part yearns to stay, because she represents the freedom his soul has always longed for. This is why she is unforgettable. She doesn't just awaken desire, she awakens awareness. A man may forget her words, her touch, even her face, but he will never forget the feeling of being fully seen. Because in that moment, she did not see him as he pretended to be, but as he truly was. Her eyes, calm and knowing, cut through his defenses like fire through mist. And though he may not have the courage to face her again, her imprint lingers, not as pain but as transformation. The woman who embodies mystery walks between the worlds of the seen and the unseen. She understands that energy speaks louder than words. She knows when a man's confidence is only armor. She senses when love is rooted in fear. Her intuition is her compass and she trusts it ruthlessly. To the ordinary mind, this makes her dangerous. But to the awakened, she is sacred. For she moves not from emotion alone, but from awareness. She does not chase, she magnetizes. Many mistake her independence for coldness. But it is not coldness, it is clarity. She knows that love born from dependency is not love, it is survival. So she nurtures herself first, fills her own cup until it overflows. Only then does she allow another to drink from it. And when she loves, it's not from emptiness but from wholeness. That love does not cling, it liberates. It does not demand, it inspires. It does not promise forever because it doesn't need to. It is complete in every moment it exists. Osho often said that love should make you more of yourself, not less. And she embodies this truth effortlessly. The men who cross her path are forever changed, not because she gives them anything, but because she takes nothing. She expects no savior, no validation, no constant reassurance. Her energy says, "I am already enough." That simple declaration dismantles centuries of conditioning, and it terrifies those still ruled by it. When she walks away, she leaves behind not bitterness but silence. The kind of silence that makes a man question his own reflection. He begins to wonder why her absence feels more real than the presence of others. And in that wondering he begins to awaken. She was never his possession, she was his initiation. The mysterious woman lives according to the laws of inner truth, not societal approval. She honors her rhythms, her need to rest, to create, to be alone. She doesn't apologize for the days she disappears, for the moments she turns inward. She knows that stillness is not weakness, it's where her power regenerates. She is like the moon, waxing and waning, always changing yet never lost. And the man who truly sees her understands that her unpredictability is not chaos, it's life itself. He will try to define her, he will fail. He will try to possess her, she will dissolve in his grasp. Because she cannot be held by control, only by presence. To love her, one must surrender the idea of ownership and embrace the art of witnessing. Only then does he begin to understand that she was never a mystery to solve, but a truth to experience. And you listening now, perhaps you felt it too. That pull to stop chasing approval. That quiet whisper inside that says, you are already whole. Listen to it. It's not arrogance, it's awakening. The moment you embody that energy, men begin to sense it. They don't know why, but they dream of you. They feel drawn not to what you show, but to what you are. The mysterious woman is not born through seduction. She is born through solitude. It is in her aloneness that she learns to listen, not to the noise of the world, but to the whisper of her own essence. The modern world fears such women because they cannot be manipulated. They are not starving for validation. They do not buy the illusion that worth must be earned. They know that their existence itself is the miracle. And when a woman arrives at that realization, her energy shifts in a way that language cannot capture. She no longer looks at men as the source of completion, but as mirrors for expansion. Each encounter becomes a lesson, not a transaction. A man who disappoints her is not her enemy, he is her teacher. He shows her where she still gives too much, where she still hides her truth, where she still fears her own power. Instead of closing her heart, she refines it, sharper, wiser, freer. She learns that heartbreak is not the opposite of love, but its purification. Osho called it the fire that burns away illusion. Through this fire, she sheds everything that is not authentic. The need to be liked, the compulsion to please, the desperate hope that someone will finally stay. She discovers the quiet ecstasy of being her own sanctuary. When she looks in the mirror, she no longer sees a woman waiting to be chosen. She sees the one who does the choosing. And this simple awareness transforms her energy completely. She no longer asks, am I enough? Instead, she asks, does this align with my peace? Men feel this shift immediately, even if they can't name it. They sense that she no longer operates within the ordinary rules of attraction. She doesn't chase, doesn't negotiate, doesn't shrink herself to be digestible. When she enters a room, she brings with her the gravity of someone who belongs nowhere and everywhere at once. Her aura says, I am not here to be seen, I am here to see. That is what drives men mad. She is not performing for their attention, yet they can't stop giving it to her. In psychological terms, she has integrated her animus, the masculine within. She no longer needs a man to act as her protector, because she has become her own. Her decisions come from inner authority. Her boundaries are no longer walls but gates, open only to those who approach with respect. This integration dissolves polarity confusion. She is both softness and strength, tenderness and steel. She is the storm and the calm after it. The more balanced she becomes, the more magnetic she is. Because men are not truly drawn to beauty, they are drawn to equilibrium. To a woman who is not at war with herself. Her energy feels safe and intoxicating at once. She can sit in silence and make him restless, not because she withholds, but because her silence speaks of freedom. He cannot place her, cannot predict her, and so she lingers in his mind like a song with no end. She understands that mystery is not about hiding, it's about revealing only what is real. She doesn't flood others with her emotions, she lets them flow naturally, unapologetically. If she is joyful, she radiates. If she is sad, she allows it without shame. In a world addicted to pretending, her authenticity is a revolution. She is not afraid to say no, not afraid to walk away, not afraid to begin again. And because she fears nothing, she loses nothing. Her confidence is quiet, not the arrogance of ego, but the serenity of someone who has nothing to prove. Osho once said, the real question is not whether life exists after death. The real question is whether you are alive before death. This woman is alive, not surviving, not waiting, fully, dangerously alive. She feels deeply, thinks deeply, loves deeply. That depth is what men dream of, because it reminds them of what they have forgotten, to feel. And yet, she doesn't need them to feel complete. Her solitude has become her temple. She enjoys her own company as others enjoy applause. Her nights alone are not lonely, they are rituals. She drinks tea with her silence, dances with her thoughts, and sleeps beside her peace. The world tells her she should be searching for someone. She smiles because she already found the one, herself. The paradox of her mystery is this: the less she needs love, the more love finds her. The less she performs, the more she shines. The less she explains, the more she is understood by those who are ready. Men sense her as something beyond time. She carries the grace of an ancient priestess in a modern body. She doesn't chase the new, she remembers the eternal. And you, the listener, perhaps you are starting to feel that awakening too. That quiet rebellion within, whispering that you don't need to prove your worth. That maybe the greatest power lies not in being desired, but in being free. Because freedom is the final seduction, and once you taste it, you can never go back. She walks through the world like a song that no one can forget, yet no one can fully hum. Her presence is a rhythm that resonates with the unseen, a cadence that calls to the soul before the mind even understands. Men dream of her because she embodies what cannot be claimed. A woman who has made herself whole, who dances on the line between vulnerability and invincibility, softness and fire, absence and presence. She is both the question and the answer, the pull and the release. Her mystery is not cultivated to ensnare. It is the natural consequence of mastery over self. She has faced her shadows, embraced her rage, acknowledged her grief, and reconciled her wounds. Where others see trauma as a chain, she has transformed it into a ladder. Each step a lesson, each scar a talisman. In doing so, she has become unapproachable by those who seek possession, but utterly magnetic to those who seek truth. Men dream of her because she is a mirror reflecting not only who they are, but who they could be if they dared to live without fear. She is untethered, yet deeply grounded. Her laughter echoes like wine through ancient trees, free yet rooted. Her gaze penetrates without judgment, seeing not just the surface but the currents beneath. To the unawakened, she may seem distant, enigmatic, perhaps even untouchable. But to those who dare to meet her, she offers the gift of presence. A presence that awakens intuition, courage, and the dormant parts of the soul. Her freedom is contagious. A man who encounters her begins to question everything he thought he knew about love, control, and desire. He begins to see the subtle chains that bind him. The need to be needed, the fear of abandonment, the compulsion to perform for acceptance. Her energy does not fight him. It simply exists as a mirror. And in that reflection, he may catch a glimpse of the man he could be. One who loves without clinging, feels without fear, and sees without needing to possess. She loves but not as a currency. She loves as an offering, an overflow from a well that has no bottom, a river that cannot be dammed. She nurtures, she inspires, she ignites, but she does not tether. Her love is a gift to the soul, not a leash to the ego. And when she leaves without bitterness, without expectation, without apology. She leaves the man not broken, but awakened, challenged, and alive. In her silence, there is a conversation deeper than any words could carry. In her absence, there is presence stronger than any proximity could provide. She teaches without lecturing, heals without touching, transforms without demanding. And this is the essence of her power. It is not coercive, it is catalytic. She does not chase, she does not beg, she does not perform. She simply is, and in being, she catalyzes transformation in all who encounter her. Her life is a testament to the alchemy of self-possession. She knows that attraction is not something to manufacture, but something to radiate. She does not attempt to be irresistible, because she understands that irreversibility comes from alignment with one's own soul. Every step she takes, every glance she offers, every breath she draws is infused with consciousness, with awareness, with sovereignty. And men dream of her because she reminds them, in the quietest, most undeniable ways, of what it means to be awake in a world that sleeps. She has no need to explain herself, no need to justify her desires, no need to diminish her light. Her magnetism is the natural byproduct of self-respect and inner freedom. She has reconciled the shadows, integrated the fractured parts, and emerged whole, unshakable, luminous. And in that wholeness she becomes irresistible, not because of superficial charm but because of the depth that cannot be contained, the authenticity that cannot be ignored, and the freedom that cannot be replicated. And so, the woman who knows her mystery knows her power. She understands that desire follows presence, that reverence follows integrity, that love follows wholeness. She walks through the world untethered and unafraid, a living testament to the truth that nothing external can define her. The men who dream of her do so because she has reminded them of something they lost. The possibility of living without fear, of loving without chains, of being fully alive. She has become the culmination of every lesson, every shadow faced, every fear transcended. And in that culmination she exists beyond pursuit, beyond expectation, beyond longing. She does not chase, she does not negotiate, she does not diminish. She simply is. And in her being, she teaches the final truth of attraction, of love, of freedom. That nothing is more compelling than a woman who has claimed herself fully. The woman who knows her worth doesn't chase, she chooses.